There is a ship that we are burning as we go, a ship of wood, of leaves, of earth and flesh and bone, a ship that was a tree which could have been this oak that's shifting overhead and anchored in the dark. Then will we have to sail from here and seed the stars, once more transporting greater knowledge, grander truths. But we're the craft itself, the cargo and the crew, upon a ship that we are burning as we go.
Last night, I dreamed of streets that grew around the city walls like rings in trunks of trees. And tonight, I'll bark and shriek with the creatures here before, as those dreams come crowding in.
Remember when everything was holy, to be honoured, held close. Remember when you knew for certain that everything, even stone, are sentient.
Yes, and when you give yourself to a place, it lodges in your bones. Its mossy woods remember secrets you pour into its waters, your struggles through mud. It gives you visions, songs to sing to its racing stream.
One night, years after, you dream of returning to that bend in the river, where imagination, swift as its current, is caught by stoop of alder, rooted in loam.
I dreamed we sidestepped mud along a sedge-walled track, past mirror lakes with bleached edges. We gazed at reflected grace of an otherworld tree, tried to figure the rippled fractals of its branches. Treading soft peat under open sky, placed us back in the fold, like starling roost in reed beds.
I saw a kingfisher. It was there, it was gone. It was followed by another one, so I could see two at once, blue as sky, as they flashed past.
I follow the holloways that take me down to where the stories first began, where fox and hare listen in bracken, ravens chat across the silence of sky.
But still the dreams are coming, crowding in, and we are fearful. On screens we watch the flaring city sing to claxons, their waves of grief for bombs or back to work.
Repeating the dins of loading, chimes of running chain along the wharves, unloaded timber booming on the docks.
The rowan fell last night, neatly, as if it didn't want to fuss. It cracked open its trunk and laid itself across the wall.
We live among corpses, bury our hearts down a fracking shaft. One day we'll remember too late, we too are sacred.
And in offices, keyboards shuffle and brains are lit. The nights throb and squeal as streetlights throw their dust sheets over the sky.
All this built with subscriptions by ruined city fathers between the blocks put up by vanished corporations.
Warm air will be the death of us, the death of trees. We search to find a place to cool our blood, our roots.
Did you know we trees hold scrolls of riddles buried in concentric circles of early wood and late wood?
Nothing carved into them, aside from what the years have done. Density of cells darker, droughts narrowness, fire scars and beetle galleries.
These divining rods won't tell the future, but the past. You'll find they all confirm weather warming, the ageless rule of consequence.
We trees know secrets. We trees are whispering, humming. Are you listening?
Did you know you can get a phone app for bird songs? Pick and choose which one you like, shrike or spoonbill, finch or twite, because you won't see or hear us soon.
I saw the last barn owl in the museum. He didn't look happy. I suppose it's not great behind a sheet of glass with woolen wire stuck up your arse.
In me, a blind canary still sings. Whenever water runs into the morning, she sings and shivers. She is not golden, but mottled, worn, still singing.
And if you humans die out, we sycamores will shoot through tarmac. Beavers will shift cast iron drain covers down side streets and lanes down by the river.
And superstores will be choked with ivy.
Herds of cattle will crash through the high street.
And shopping malls will be chock full of thorns.
High-rises will become black and white cliffs, stiff with guillemots, gulls and their guano.
Sidings and industrial units will go under the weed.
And the water gear will seize up and drown in its housing.
Power stations will hiss flame and crack. The air will be thick with ash, the rain burning black.
Soil already orange-red with iron, volcanic black, will be fire and rotted blood.
Saplings sprout leaves of burning orange, red that spreads like a rumour through awnings and canopies.
Our precious lungs, defenders of life, as whole continents burn to the sea.
But before all that, you'll be hiding out in roofs and basements, fearful of lynxes and bears, sheltering with rats and dogs in car shells.
You will creep out to forage for nettles and blackberries.
Adopt a disguise.
Engage the complicity of trees.
Hair dishevelled, snagged on twigs.
Rootling for worms in fern, raking grubs from bark with broken nails.
Pylons, turbines and masts will be tangled, black in the evenings with starlings that go over in storms.
The storms that will come to the bus station where you've made camp. Clutch the heart of your town.
Others will shoot you if you get too close, and they've still got ammunition to spare. Nail you to a door as a lesson of what thieves can expect in this postcode.
And all manner of saviours will come, with a sword or a book, and some patter will promise you a city in the sky, in the west, in the east.
Or under the waves.
Do you remember climbing to the top of the mountain, the counties below you drowning in moonlight, the sheep like fish, the mist rolling up like the sea? Will it be water next time? Will the mountain remember?
Eyjafjalla Jökull remembers who she is. Her personality split at the start of time. Her ice becomes a vast machinery. She thunders as she breaks it, and the plates of rock beneath, proud and terrible as she ruptures. Now she flies. Oh, how she flies, awesome and most ravishing. Her mouth pulses ignition red, her lips smoulder black, and the massive white of her risen dress is everywhere.
Fractured, mined, ravaged, felled, old mountain woman keeps faith, limps along with her tattered, scattered miracles of grace, of bird song. She howls the wind, moans through dark with whinny and drum of snipe. She traces with feathered fingers, licks moth-soft at our hearing. When will we listen?
Mountain sleeps with her back to us, dark head full of dreams. We are waiting it out, she whispers, till all of you go.
We trees know secrets. We trees are whispering, humming. Are you listening?
The world was not always as we find it now, and still we imagine the winter white for miles, for months. Imagine white bears on ice horizons. But now the seasons are melting into one.
Do you remember?
Music tumbling from birds whose bones were light as air, whose hearts were formed of semiquavers.
Do you remember?
Going down to a gentle shore, the riches in each pool, the song of seals. All this was a gift we squandered, that we smothered, burned and killed. So now, our only greeting to a future none of us will see, is it empty words?
Imagine.
Sheer cliffs of water, those on seashore lurching ankle-bound in mud as you flee up the lane.
A punch in the back.
Sends you hurtling into the deep, unbreathable darkness, salt in your eyes, mouth, nose, fire in your chest.
And there's the dragon, watching the sea from its cliff at Hinkley, and dreaming of high tides, surges, listening to rumours running through gutters of a distant volcano devouring itself. Swift waves racing thousands of miles over an ocean.
And as the ground itself whitens, rises into our eyes, we're drawn under waters teeming with creatures, shells, skeletons gleaming underneath our wheels, enthralled to the surge, to the dark pull of the beckoning seven.
Gaze out over the sparkle, the spindrift, the long plain song of the open sea. Do you feel like I'm something alive? Well, I am. You have grown finite, frantic, forgetting the infinite we inhabit. In this very moment, I call you back.
Swim with me, swim with me, swim with me. I am coming for you anyway.
I am hush, hush, splash. I am sparkle, sarkle, arkle. I am rill, frill, frilly. I am froth, froth, frothing. I am rock, crash, crashing. I am roar. I am raw, rage, roaring.
Wave, wave, waving. Wave, wave, waving. Sink, sink, sinking. Deep, deep, deeping. drop, drop, dropping, drip, drip, dripping, suck, suck, sucking, pull, pull, pulling.
I am fish, fish failing. I am dying, drown, drowning, choke, choking, rise, rising.
And while you're wishing, crack, back, whack, I am coming for you.
And do you remember climbing to the top of the mountain? The counties below you drowning in moonlight, the sheep like fish, the mist rolling up like a sea. Will it be water next time? Will the mountain remember?
But we didn't mean to fill whales' stomachs, to filter plastic through their combs, to hamper their digestion, to stop them living. But we do. We slip another fragment through.
As the volume of humanity increases, ice melts, water levels rise, trees burn, and in the end populations drop until the planet can take its fingers from its ears. Because godlike we mined and burned methane, ethane, propane, butane, and warmed the waters.
I am bodiless, a head without home. I want to growl, howl with the wolf wind, tear up those damn fences.
Wrapped like a fox in the dying woods, or a rabbit caught in the beam of an alien sun.
Scream in fury to the stars that will not miss, a planet we thought we loved, but did not treasure. Snarl, scratch, and hiss, never cease to fight, till the last hope has gone and Earth dies.
When only the stones remember the webbing of sunlight and water, sharks silhouetted against the sky.
Creatures are trying to warn us. The smell of salt is in the air. Coffined creeks and culverts stir under tarmac. Black water rising.
We trees know secrets. We trees are whispering, humming. Are you listening?
You see, all this was Earth's gift to you. You squandered, smothered, burned and killed it. The future none of us will see is empty words.
So I cradle my grief, sing it lullabies, keen with it, roar with it, hide it, write it, speak it, shout it. It keeps coming back in waves, each time rising, each time deeper, until it contains the whole world.
Here, would you hold it for us, just for a few moments? Take care to support its head. Do not let it drop.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Let love guide you. Let love guide you. Listen to your heart.
The ribs of our country jut, its dreams tilled to exhaustion by intensively farmed ambition.
But let thistles stitch its wounds, and painted lady caterpillars feast on their prickles.
Let pigs unzip its pus with cracks for bastard toadflax and meadow cleary.
Let ragwort flourish, as 177 insect species thrive on its bad reputation.
Let longhorn cattle tramp, hoof prints, pools for fairy shrimp, water crowfoot, stonewort.
And one moonlight night, nightingales will return to fill our country with song.
You could leave the sky to us birds. Let us glide from nowhere. Ride the air in lazy circles. Let our sharp cries baffle the wind.
Wearing my long winged feathers as I fly, wearing my long winged feathers as I fly, I circle around the boundaries of the earth.
Today's sky is a clear, piercing cry. As I follow it unfurling, a fan of brown blades hurls the world upside down. Eyes indignant, unblinking, a still feathered weight. Dipping down, the mottled angel of silence comes.
And leave the forest to us trees and creatures. Let seeds grow where they fall and be the right tree in the right place.
In forests damp and warm, in thickets blanketed by spores, we can see them, feel them swelling, opening the ground, thrusting through the litter with a hungry crackling sound.
Decay cocoons, lichen cloaks, mycelium spins its own solutions.
We trees know secrets. We trees are whispering, humming. Are you listening?
An amber eye into the past. Half a face appears from the wall of evergreen. You won't see me. I am shadow's edge moving. Feel for your wolfskin. It is time to cross the borderlands and together change for the sake of the forest, river, the wild.
And give thanks to us insect scavengers who scuttle and hover, who devour matter, whose unseen industry tidies away death, who rag-pick life from a mountain of leavings, whose ingenuity fashions answers from decay, whose webs and threads spin shrouds.
Give thanks to us bees who fly out to forage and pollinate, driven by the need to bring the harvest in, who celebrate the cycle of bud and flower and fruit, while in our hive honey swells the sharp hexagonal cells. Red and blue masons, leaf cutters and tawny mining bees, orchard bees or cuckoos, carders, white-faced and hairy-footed flower bees. Colony or solitary, science says we hold the future of the human race. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit.
As soil, I save your skins and turn them into leather, or strip you to your ribs. In time receive you in the pathways of nematodes, the fortresses of ants. I consume you with bacteria, with microscopic animals, return you here as moss, as grass, make you the table, then the feast.
There comes a time to return what was taken, a carnelian brooch, a wedding ring, oxygen, carbon.
You were only ever made of soil, and now your mouths are full. Your dreams are fertile, dark, your plumage ash and stars, your movements murmurations.
It is time to leave this house, to reach for the hands of our children, our sisters and brothers.
Let us cherish what we have, for it is all we have and are.
As daybreak makes its landfall, we shield our eyes against the glare.
As daybreak makes its landfall, hope sings on the far side of despair.
There will be a moment sometime in the next few years where they come over water, coursing salt currents of wind and sea, a flotilla of possibility.
There will be a moment. If we could foresee that final click as the clocks tick towards the tipping point, like a thief in the night.
We trees know secrets. We trees are whispering, humming. Are you listening?
Our dormant stories are stirring the earth.
Somewhere I can hear a lark.
A desultory bee out late in heather.
Mistaking the warmth of sun for summer, unaware the hour's about to slip.
Somehow we are underwater, but still breathing in this late, long time.
Hope sings on the far side of despair, for these are acts of love.
As mothers sit by the road in Downing Street to breastfeed gurgling babies.
As police tenderly unglue, unlock, and in low voices inform people of their rights.
As an elderly rabbi, knelt in prayer, is taken, his prayer shawl flapping.
Each arrest a sacrament.
Never doubt.
But a small group
Of people
Can change the world.
Indeed.
It is the only thing.
That ever has.
the far side of despair, for these are acts of love.
The world was not always as you find it now. Remember music tumbling from birds whose bones were light as air, whose hearts were formed of semiquavers.
This year needs us more than ever. We must plant a new kind of heart, one that breaks then grows back to stand oak strong.
One that seeds itself in simple acts of kindness between strangers. A heart that speaks out, that knows the odds and still bears fruit to sustain us.
That knows its empty place, makes it home. Scar tissues intractable, dead. It's your wound that will remind you who you are. Walk its edges, test its depth, map its contours, your geography of loss.
Hope sings on the far side of despair, for these are acts of love.
Gradually, the land will heal itself. Invite the grace of tree song, their hymns to the wind, the lure of that path to the sheepfolds.
Let yourself turn granite, till mica glitters your skin.
Till you are blotched mustard and grey, with life that takes little, gives much.
Gaze out over the sparkle, the spindrift, the long plain song of the open sea.
It made you.
It made me.
Made us for each other.
In this very moment.
It calls you back.
Swim with me, swim with me, swim with me.
There is a ship that sails the sea. She's loaded deep as deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not if I sink or swim.